Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Now this is my first honest review in a little while, to be honest. I've just been super busy, so I thought why not do another honest review. Now I'm going to be reviewing the DualSense Edge. I just had this delivered. I purchased it off Sony's website because I can't get them from my suppliers currently, and I wanted to see what the fuss is all about. Now I have my old faithful here. I use this as my main controller at home. This is a custom extreme rate controller that I made. I offer these on my website. There's two different versions we do. Now this one just has the 4 remappable back buttons, which are great. This is what I've been using for over a year. I think I actually recorded the video of where I made this, which is in a previous video. But we also offer on our website custom extreme rate controllers with clicky tactical buttons. I don't use mine anymore because I don't just play shooting games. I play lots and lots of different games on the PlayStation. So I actually got rid of my controller that I had the tactical buttons because obviously not using it. I was like, there's no point really keeping it. But this is I've actually had this one at the shop, and now obviously I bought it at home because I now use it here. Since selling my tactical clicky button one, I also have the standard black controller. But as we have both of these here, we can compare them to this. Now this is Sony's new DualSense Edge controller. Basically the Pro controller. Is what it is obviously you've got tactical buttons, you've got back buttons, you've got all sorts of stuff. Now, taking it out of the normal box and you get greeted by this, and then when you open this, we have a foam wrapped case. Let's put that. Nice protective bag, and then it's in a nice protective case. The protective case, which you can actually take this around with you, so if you're going to your friends and you're going to go play, I don't know if you ever would, or if you're going to do competitions, or I don't know why. It's just a nice carry case. It's hard. Actually hurt. It does have a back piece on it. If I can get it. Oh, geez. Oh, Velcro is quite tough. Where you can actually, it's got a little charging port. So you can open that up, you can plug your controller in and charge it up while it's in the case. Let's unzip it. And then as we open it up, we are greeted with the controller, thumbsticks, back buttons, lock and unlock. I believe that's for the cable. And then we actually have the cable up here, which is in quite a nice little pouch. Nice Usbc cable. I like the way that it comes out. But you can actually have this in this little loop here. I'm not doing a very good job of showing this. But you can actually put the cable in and then loop it back over and it stays in place, which is quite cool. But let's grab the controller out and then have a look. So obviously that's where the hole into the back. So you can charge charge. So you can put I'll put my teeth back in. So you can charge your controller. We've got LB, RB back buttons. I quite like these ones because the other ones I'm not too sure on. They're little. Yeah, I'm not overly sold. They feel nice, but so I like having my fingers quite close and the buttons come up right close to it, so I quite like that. Then we have excuse me. Then we have the lock mechanism for the cable. So let's unstrap this cable. So it's quite a nice long crikey, I'll probably say 2 meters, 2.5 meters, something like that. Cable, so it's a fair size. And then we'll unlock, open the clip up, and we put, let's try and get this in, clicks into place, click it into place. So that's quite nice. And then, yeah, you've got 2 little bits here, click it in, lock it in, and then you can't tug it out. So if you're playing and you're going crazy, even though it's a really long cable, you're not gonna just rip the end out and damage the charge port. I quite like that, and then it's nice and easy to unlock. That's quite cool. I do quite like that feature. So the controller itself feels nice. I'm not sure what these FN, to be fair, I didn't read up too much on this controller because originally I wasn't going to go crazy and spend the £210 that this is on Sony's website. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a proper review, because obviously I use the extreme rate ones, I recommend the extreme rate ones, so I thought it's only fair to get one to test it and then I can say yay or nay if it's any good. But you know, you've got your normal R2, R1 buttons. They do have 3 different adjustments. So on the 3rd setting, you've got full reach down. 2nd setting, oh, okay, let's click that one down. So yeah, it goes halfway down. We'll put that back to 3 so you can see how far you go there. And then on the 2nd, you know, it's like half the press. And then obviously on 3rd, oh, but it actually makes it feel like the tactical buttons on the extreme rate. Sadly, I don't have one here to show you. I do have the parts coming because I sold 2 of them to a very good customer of mine. He's had one previously. He had an Xbox one as well. So hopefully, if they arrive before this video goes up, I can actually show you what the tactical buttons feel like on an extreme rate controller. But yeah, that'd be good for Call of Duty, maybe a bit of Fortnite. And the best thing is you can have one tactical and one for scoping, so you can actually go half a press instead of a full press for scoping, for bringing your scope up, and then quick blast. Yeah, I like that. The buttons, it all feels the same as a normal controller. It's actually got some nice rubberized grips down here compared to the standard, which is quite nice. I say the standard because obviously the extreme rate ones, when I do these, we actually get the rubberized grips for them, for the back paddles. So yeah, these, I'm hoping that they might bring out some different colours, because from previous experience with using the white, these get really dirty, really dirty. So it would be nice if they actually bring out different colours, because I always like the darkened controllers instead of the white, that we can change the bits over. But you never know, they might bring that out. The one thing I do like about this, and this is the whole point of me getting it, was me and a friend were talking, and obviously when you get stick drift, so you have this release button here, and the front does come off. You know, you never know, they might do custom ones of these. We can have different colours and that sort of stuff to make it a little bit more individual. But you lift up these little levers here, like so, and the sticks pop out, which is really, really cool, because we all know controllers and stick drift is a real issue. Now, Sony sell these modules for £20. So, yes, the controller is quite expensive, but the fact that when you start getting stick drift, you can just replace this one item for £20 instead of having to try and get the whole thing, instead of having your whole controller taken apart, unsolder the stick module, getting a new part put in, which could be expensive, and that's when you can find someone who does it, because we don't offer that service. It's either that or the price of a new controller. But yeah, no, these just lock back into place, which is really cool. Which is one of the things was like, yeah, that's one reason to get it, because obviously, even without the paddles on the back and the controller bits for the sticks, for the triggers and the adjustments, just to be able to change your thumbsticks is a game changer. And I actually think they should put this on, this one specific feature on all their controllers, because the amount of love that they would get for that, just for that alone. The one thing I don't know is these FN buttons. I don't know if these are programmable. I haven't really looked, like I said, I haven't really looked into this controller that much. I knew it did that, and that was, to me, the selling point. Now, I personally haven't had any controller go, but I know a lot of people that have. So you get, oh, that's a tug and a half, that is. So you do get different thumbsticks. Now these are your standard ones that you get on your standard PlayStation 5 controller. They're quite cool, I'm quite used to them. But obviously, over time they do split. But then you also get 4 others. You get 2 with a long shaft and a domed cap, and 2 short with dome cap. Now obviously you don't have to go 2 and 2, you can change them however you want. You can have extra long, you can have long on one side, you can have short on the other, vice versa. But yeah, they are made out of plastic, which is a bit, they could have made out of metal, because I know for a fact that the Xbox ones are made out of metal. I don't have the Xbox Pro controller, sorry, the Xbox Elite controller, because I don't play my Xbox enough, to be fair. I have a fair few, I have about 3 Xbox controllers. I just don't play it enough. It sits plugged into the main TV, in case the wife wants to play a game, but it's not very often. So yeah, it just doesn't get used that much. But let's have a look at how these go in. So this is RB, that'll be this side. Okay, goes in quite nicely. Getting it out's a bit more of a pain than going in, but yeah, snaps in quite nicely. Oh, I do like them. I like the way these sit. Yeah, they sit nicely up here. So obviously, when you got a hold of your controller, yeah, your fingers are straight on them, and I like that. Compared to, see, this is a little bit more forward, but you can still, yeah, there's not much difference in that, in the location. As you can see, they both sit quite nicely. The only thing is I like this one. This has 2 extra buttons there. So you can literally, when you're playing, they're all literally within that one. Those 2 fingers can to get both of them really easily. And that's one thing I do like about the Extreme Rise. I believe that's the Rise 4B kit. But yeah, I like these. I like these ones, definitely. They do feel quite nice. Let's take these off and then let's put the other ones on. See, I'm not a big fan of these other ones. I don't even know if I put them in right. We'll come back to that. I'm not sure how I feel about these, because it doesn't say which way they go in. Or how, no. Ah, okay. So So it doesn't say which one goes on which side, but you soon realise they only go in one way. They just look slightly strange. They're sort of out in the middle of nowhere. So obviously when you're gripping it, actually, yeah, actually, they're not the nicest looking things or anything like that. But I do like the fact that you're not going to accidentally press anything, and then you have to lift your finger up to pull it back. Now, obviously, you can pull it forward, but push it forward, but that won't do anything. Do you know what I mean? It'll just, if anything, possibly knock it out of place. But yeah, actually, I'm surprised by that, because yeah, you're not going to accidentally press anything, and if you want to do something, yeah, no, that's actually I actually quite like that. Weirdly, that's taken me by surprise. I didn't think I'd like it, but I do. But yeah, I would probably run these more when I'm playing stuff like Call of Duty, Fortnite, that sort of stuff. So, okay, so I have found the instructions. It was at the bottom of the box. I had a look. So the FN button, using a combination with other buttons. So the FN button plus action button switch between profile, and customize profile. So the FN buttons do something, but they're not a functional remapped button as such. So you can actually volume up and down, that sort of stuff, and switch between profiles. The other cool thing is with this controller is you never know what Sony's going to bring out. They might bring out custom bits to go inside where the thumbsticks are. You never know with them. But yeah, it's a nice controller. Obviously I need to test it. I need to use it. But one test I do want to check. Now, I have the Razer charge dock. I used to have the DualSense twin official charge dock, but I prefer this. I only ever have one controller on charge at a time. Now, obviously, this one doesn't fit it. It won't charge because of the back buttons, which is a pain in the bum. Now, I know Extreme Rate have brought out a attachment that you can use to put on the Sony official charge dock. But I don't have that. I haven't bought one yet, solely for the fact I no longer have my Sony charge dock. Obviously the black one just drops on nicely. Keep it charged, ready to go. You know, it's nice and easy. Now, the question is will this drop on it? I don't think it will because the FN buttons, but you never know. They might even bring out later on an attachment to put it on. Let's remove the back buttons to give it a fair chance. So I always like to have a controller charged, and it's nice and easy just to drop after I've been playing, just to drop onto here without having cables and everything else. It just keeps it looking clean and tidy. I was right. The FN buttons do stop it from dropping straight onto it and working. Now, obviously, I could just keep it charged up in the case, ready to be used. It's not an issue. It's not a major issue. I've got plenty of ways to charge it. It's just, or you can, but it will damage the warranty. Even though I've had it long enough and it's out of warranty, I could trim it, but it just makes it look just won't make it look so great. But no doubt Razer are going to work out a way that you can. They may make new ones of these with notches to get past the FN bit. Who knows? It's just like I quite like having this. But when I'm playing certain games, I'm not going to need this. If I'm playing Hogwarts or any single player games. Not really. Do you need to have this controller? No, not if you're just playing, chilling to normal games. Racing games I can see, yes. And that's one good thing about having the long press, and then if you're playing a shooting game, and then obviously you can map these to whatever you want, like change gear up and down if you're a manual player. But then who knows, I prefer playing. I don't have the space, as you can see in my under the stairs gaming area at home. I don't have the space to have a steering wheel, so I always play racing games on a controller. So this could come in handy. I am going to give this a go. I'm going to test it, see how well it does, see how my skills. I don't have any skills, but who are we kidding? But it is quite nice. It sits nicely in the case with the back buttons on as well. And I just realised it actually has a slot here for a spare stick, for a spare module, which I may or may not get. I'm undecided, but I'll get back to you with my honest review after I've had a quick go with it. So I'm going to load up the PlayStation and I'll be back. Okay, so my overall thought of this controller so far, I did try and record a little bit of me using it, but the battery died. And I didn't notice until after the game. So, overall thoughts of this controller, currently really good. I am actually really liking it. I like the way that you can actually have the different throw settings and that sort of stuff on the triggers. The back buttons do feel quite nice, and you can have 4 programs, so you can actually have 4 profiles set up, and using the FN buttons is quite easy. When you have the headphones on, using the FN to adjust the headphone volume, the game chat, balance and everything is really helpful without actually taking your fingers off the controller and trying to find out where they are on the headsets. I always forget. So yeah, this does the job really well. Is it worth £210? Time will tell. Now, if you wanted back buttons and you didn't want to spend £210, we have the extreme ones. We have them on our website. We make them to order. We can do pretty much any sort of colours, that sort of stuff, using the extreme rate gear. Now, obviously, this is my one that I made. I used the anodized red, so this one was quite expensive to make because, you know, I changed all the buttons, I changed the triggers, I did an awful lot. The only thing I need to do really is the thumbsticks, but I don't need to do them straight away. They come out starting at £140 with a brand new controller, brand new extreme rate Rise 4 kit, and the clicky triggers. If you don't want the clicky triggers and you want normal triggers, that's not a problem. We can it works out a little bit cheaper, and we can do that. But then obviously the price starts mounting up the more custom stuff you want, like the different triggers and that sort of stuff. But for the price, these are really good. Obviously you get the 4 buttons instead of the 2 on the back, but then obviously I quite like the FN button on this one, and I like the actual option of being able to take the thumbsticks out. Is this worth the £210? We will see. If you don't spend the £210 on one of these, then obviously you can get one of these extreme rate controllers with the tactical clicky buttons from £140 on our website. They're made to order, and they have 4 back buttons which are fully programmable really easily, just by pressing and holding the centre button, waiting for the flashes, and then you just assign the buttons that you want it to do. Quite simple. Then this is a way to go if you don't want to spend this, but this feels really nice. I like the way that you're going to be able to replace the thumbsticks, and then you've got the option of having it a short throw, long throw on the triggers. But yeah, I really like this. I'm going to carry on playing with it, give it a bit more testing, and see where we go from here. So do I recommend it? Yes. £210. See if you can get it a little bit cheaper. I'm waiting for the suppliers to let me know when they have something that we can actually sell, because right up until when I ordered this, they were exclusive to Sony's website, but I believe you can now get them from Game and a few other places. We're just waiting to find out if we can get hold of them from our supplier as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back with the next video very soon. Adios.